So, I just did a video with my man Jeff Mason about Canelo versus Jacobs. And he said Canelo has the upper hand in this fight because Canelo, after fighting Floyd, fights like a black fighter. He moves like a black fighter. And in the comments, there was a lot of comments about, Mexican style, and Jared Hurd fights like a Mexican, and Errol Spence fights like a Mexican. And so it got me thinking, like, are there really ethnic fighting styles in boxing? Does your ethnicity dictate the way you fight? It's interesting when you think about it, because people of the same ethnic background, or fighters of the same ethnic background, sometimes tend to have similar styles. And one guy posted a comment, one of the brothers, and when I say brothers, I mean brothers on this page, man, because we all brothers. I don't mean that brothers racially, because y'all gonna say that. But one of the brothers right here, Jamail, excuse me if I pronounce your name wrong, brother, but Jamail, he said, Canelo has a black upper body and Mexican feet. And I started thinking about that. A black upper body and Mexican feet. And I was like, damn, he said Canelo's biracial. He's a biracial boxer. And, just joking around. And we both had a laugh at it. But it got me thinking about ethnic fighting styles. And does your ethnicity dictate or determine the way you box? Does it determine or dictate the way you box, your ethnicity? Or is it a regional thing? Because, a lot of fighters from the same region, I notice, fight a lot. Like a lot of Philly fighters tend to fight the same. They got that Philly fighting style. That's a fighting ass city. If you've never been to a boxing match in Philly, I suggest you go. And I'm not talking about one of those mega cars down in Philly. I mean one of those house shows that they have at 2300 Arena, or at the, I want to say, a Sugar House Casino. Go there and see those fights, man. Philly is a great fighting city, where the town actually gets involved in this, man. And they have, the inner city rivalries and, the city favors. I mean, it's a beautiful fighting scene. I love Philly. So let me recommend that first and foremost. If you haven't seen a fight in Philly, go down to Philly. It's a lovely atmosphere. Philly cats show love. If you love this boxing thing as much as they do, they show love. And, Jeff Mason, if you guys have any questions or need tips about boxing, that's a good brother to talk to. If you check out The Fundamentals of Boxing with Jeff Mason, Part 1 and Part 2 on the page, they up here. He dropped some serious game about boxing. Some serious game, about the skill of boxing, the boxing techniques, foot placement, how to throw punches and defend yourself while you're throwing a punch. I mean, Jeff is really serious about this boxing thing. But back to the topic, ethnic boxing styles. Do they exist? Is there really a Mexican boxing style? Triple G got away for years saying that he fights Mexican style. Even when he fought a Mexican, he said he fought Mexican style. And y'all remember the first Triple G Canelo fight, where Canelo damn near got booed out the building by his own fan base because they said he was running and fighting a traditional, stick and move black fighting style, for lack of a better word. And then the next time he stayed in front of him and he banged with Triple G, and they said, oh, that's the Mexican fighting style. But are these ethnic styles traditional ethnic fighting styles? Because, I mean, if you look at Juan Marquez boxed, as I would say, in a traditional black fighting style. He's a counterpuncher, he moves, he's a very slick boxer. And I only hear that boxing style when it comes to Mexican style and black fighting style. I never heard of a Puerto Rican fighting style. And I mean, Puerto Rico has one of the richest boxing histories in the world. The Puerto Rican boxing history is off the charts, one of the finest in the world. But I never hear people say Puerto Rican fighting style or or Nicaraguan fighting style. You got Chocolatito from there. You have Alexis Arguello. I mean, one of the most beautiful right hands in boxing. Alexis' right hand is probably up there with Tommy Hearns in my book. Alexis Arguello had a beautiful right hand, but you never hear him say it's a Nicaraguan fighting style or a Mexican or a black fighting style. Or you have other boxers. You have your Arturo Gotti's, your Paulie Malignaggi's, and I've never heard of a quote-unquote Italian fighting style, or Mickey Ward, and you never heard of the Irish fighting style. But they always say there's a black style boxing and a Mexican style of fighting. I never heard of one Irish, Italian. So I'm saying, why hasn't there been a style that was specified to those ethnic groups, which show me that maybe there aren't any ethnic fighting styles. Maybe it's just some bullshit we as boxing fans and reporters make up just to talk shit. But, you know, if there are other fighting styles that you guys heard of, put them down, you know. Put them in the comments, and, you know, let me know of other fighting styles. You know, if you think of karate, that's another art of fighting, but, you know, they have the tiger style, and well, that's if you watch the Samurai Sundays. You know, they have the tiger styles and the claw and this. But, you know, they make boxing like that. This is a black fighting style. This is a Mexican style. Or, you know, is there an Eastern European style? You know, you got Usyk, Lomachenko, Gvozdyk. You got all these great Eastern European fighters out there right now. You know, and then sometimes we break it down regionally. You got your Philly fighting style. You got your Detroit fighting style. You got your New York. Really, I don't think I've ever heard one say, oh, you can tell he has a New York style. And I mean, you got a lot of great fighters coming out of New York, but there hasn't been one distinctive style. So, you know, if there are other ethnic group styles, one, I want y'all to put those in the comments. Two, how do ethnic groups get designated styles? Like, does it take 1 or 2 boxers, or 4 or 5 or 10 for the ethnic group to be labeled with that style? So if 5 boxers of the same ethnic group fight the same way, does it become that ethnic group style? How do we get these styles? I really want to know. Like, I've done some research. I couldn't come up with anything. But it's interesting. You know, as boxing fans, we say these things all the time, but we never think of why we're saying them or where they come from. You know? And then you have the big man fighting style, or he fights like a little man, or he fights like a big man, or, you know. Then you see some big men like Tyson Fury, who will box and stay on the outside all day. They will say that's a big man. So then you got the banging style, guys that get on the inside